have monkey. I have Sasquatch. I don't have any bouncy things though. Like Lycanthropus is okay for us. I'll stay, I guess. Ooh, that's a good one. Do I snap him back on that one? London's pretty good for us with Hitmonkey as well. Sure. Some of these Evo decks have played Cosmo in the past, which would be bad for us, but outside of Cosmo, probably a nice solid spot here. So I think the plan here is do this. Do I want to wait one turn? Maybe I want to wait one turn. I also think I actually don't want to draw. If they don't have a Cosmo, we're gonna torture here. This to not diff us in a big way. Perfect. Okay. Because now what I get to do is I get to go this. Two kitties come back to my hand and they're free next turn. And then I get to fill this and go Hitmonkey, 1-drop beast, pull both pumped up Hitmonkeys back to my hand along with a bunch of cheap things. I don't think we're gonna get more than 4 cubes out of them. It's a little bit sad, but you know, it is what it is. We go this. And then I'll get Hitmonkey Demon back to my hand, and then I'll get Nico Hitmonkey Demon back to my hand as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the kitties will stay in play. I'll lose here, we'll win here and here by a lot. Limbo bid incoming. I mean, even if they limboed to the center here, I'd still be fine, right? I just wouldn't have 2 Hitmonkeys. I'd only have 1. Just squanches 1. Sorry, kitty, hands full. And then actually, I think I even put Demon here because it means the Squanch doesn't copy, but it makes each of these bigger, yeah? This is actually net more power here, and it's more power here in the center as well. I'm so confused. Did you not watch the turn I had? I'll take it. Let my numbers go. They snapped on 1, so there's a good chance they're just someone with more infinite tickets that they know what to do with. They're just like playing best of 1. Victory. I'll happily take the pop off. Now, if they sit here and sweat going into the next round, that'll be confusing. If they just leave, it makes complete sense and they didn't care. But if they're gonna sit here and play 2 to 10, I'm truly and entirely confused how they remotely could have thought they could have won that game. I don't remotely understand. Like, cause like the only reason you continue to play here is if you genuinely thought you could have won that previous game, right? Like, if you're not just throwing away your shot, it means you thought you were winning that previous game. It's not booster farming, chat, stop it. You could always just hop into another queue. Booster farming's not a real thing. It's so silly every time someone offers that as a justification. It's just not, it's not remotely real life. I feel like I'm supposed to just max out here. I don't think that their deck is likely. I guess they're playing Enchantress. They could have a Shang-Chi. You still do the thing where you build a list using someone cards? No, as we got into the kind of the end game situation of Marvel Snap, that kind of lost its appeal as a thing people were looking for. They are definitely could just be pushing buttons. You are correct on that. Yes, playing 2 cards here makes Swan cost 4 next turn, so we can compete in Crimson Cosmos. Yes, the inclusion of Enchantress makes Shang more likely, because once you put 1 tech card in your deck, you're more likely to just play all tech cards. That's actually the best possible roll here, because it means I can put more points over here. Man, our opponent played against Living Tribunal 1 time, and they were like, I'm never losing to this deck ever again. I feel like the Super Scroll makes Shang slightly less likely, but could go either way once you have a bunch of 10 cards, honestly. What's going on, Jeff? You're missing half your deck. Big true. And then we'll play middle just in case they shag us. Sure thing, bud. As you will. As is your brood given right. Oh, you know, I actually technically messed up. Playing the Angela is more points here because we could have got Angela into Squatch, which is then 4 and then -3 on this, so it's technically 1 more. We'd have been 26 to 21, which gives us a bigger lead here. Just high Evo plus every tech card under the sun. As you will put it. think I'm just putting the demons into play. Could be right to vibe for a turn. Just let them play after Bishop. The rank info is current season when you click on them in Conquest, like I just did. Oh, this is actually a big punish here. It gives them a chance to get these, and it means I brick a draw here because I didn't play the demons out last turn. Johnny Neutron, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Too many locations that fill my hand full of crap. Gets this because I don't want to brick a draw. Although I probably want Angela to be able to play cleanly in the middle, huh? This snap feels like a little boomerish, but also like I couldn't have known that our opponent was going to hit with the, or we couldn't have known that like my Rocket Raccoon was gonna hit. So, I think this is still the play. Could have known Rocket's a pro. Yeah, that's fair. Wow, they stayed? Jean Grey's so mid against us, though. She does make landing Rocket easier, you're not wrong. Do I actually want to land the Rocket here, though? I'm not sure that I do. I think I actually want to put Rocket on the left. I think it's this.
A victory.
My name. When you don't want to play Kitty to the first location, you always want to play her to the rightmost location, because this could be deep space or super flow or something like that. I want her to end up being detrimental for you. Yeah, our opponent retreating there actually tells us a lot about them as a player, and it means that I should expect better play out of them. It's like the TLDR. I'm waiting at least one more turn to start copying. Do we snap cloning vents? I don't have any of my cards that are necessarily stellar into the cloning vents currently. You're right that my deck has a lot of cards that are good into cloning vents, but I don't currently have any of them in my hand. Now that's a drain. I think it's this, and then it's like Black Swan into Kitty into Hitmonkey Beast. I could get caught managing my hand size here, but the Hitmonkey draw is pretty insane. I've got some Arishem decks that we're going to play Infinite Conquest with today, but I've also got mostly non-Arishem decks, so I want to play a variety of things. And honestly, I'm genuinely curious to see how all these non-Arishem decks feel against Arishem. Because it's so impossible to know the actual power level of Arishem stuff right now, because it's just so popular. That's incredible. Okay, so I do this, and then next turn I have 1, 2... Yeah. Is any specific anti-Airship thing arisen yet? Yeah, there's a Ravona deck that's playing Darkhawk in it that has good stats. Okay, so now I have to think very carefully about my hand size. This gives me a Hitmonkey back to my hand. This gives me a 7-power kitty back to my hand. This gives me, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards back to my hand. So I actually don't think I'm playing a kitty here as the TLDR. Well, at least not that I'm bouncing with beasts. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do, well, I'm gonna do this, this, this comes to my hand, this bounces to my hand, that's 2, this copies to my hand, that's 3, this copies to my hand, that's 4, this was the first Kitty Pride I played, this comes back to my hand as 5. So my board next turn is going to be these 3, Beast, Kitty, and this face down with this back in my hand and this back in my hand. Final answer. Although I guess not bouncing a kitty makes my... Not bouncing a kitty makes my, what's it called, worse next turn. My Hitmonkeys that I'm putting into play. Maybe I was supposed to try and manage... Maybe I was supposed to have this one stay in play, actually. You think we only play one monkey? That might be true. I think I messed up. That's the more expensive monkey. I can't do anything else with the extra energy. I'm winning center. I'm winning... am I winning left? They're going to 22 here? Yeah, I'm winning left. This doesn't matter. Unless they have something crazy that makes these lanes significantly bigger. We're good. Need like a random blue marvel or something. Oh. We actually win all 3, yeah? Yeah, I think I played turn 5 wrong. I counted my things out, but I ended up with the wrong conclusion. I started with this deck that we're currently playing first for a couple of reasons. One is I got this split last night and wanted to make sure we played with her, but two, I know my brain will be absolutely 100% too torched to play this deck 4 or 5 hours into the stream. This is very much a we need to start with this one. Because there's no way I'm gonna count these output ranges once we've been live for a bunch of hours. Good? Our deck is not a Stellar Gamma Lab deck because we don't have protections for Hulks and we don't have ways to interact with their Hulks. So there's a very real chance we end up retreating this game. Yes, gold count includes my Swan. I added it off stream. I will say it feels really good to be playing 12 card decks into all these sweats who are playing Darkhawk with no support in their Arishem decks, just trying to metagame mirror matches. I think we're torched here in this game anyways, but it does feel good that that's the case.
Opponent snapped.
2x mode's the best possible on Nico, but I don't know that we can win the game. I don't think I'm supposed to bet 4 cubes here.
Escaped.
If you're missing Sasquatch, you could replace her with Sage. If you're missing Black Swan, you should play a different deck. Terrible for us. Oh, that one's bad for us, though. Although it is interesting that Squanch actually makes this deck not just dead to rights into Crimson Cosmos, which is nice. Probably be another retreat here. They haven't snapped those, so we'll continue hanging out. We could peel a beast for the right side here and have a shot. Thanks for the 16 months, buddy monkey. Yeah, the opponent snapped on turn 6 last time, so they're giving us a chance to draw out of this. It's like the TLDR. Do I snap them here? Nah, I think they're gonna snap us on the last turn. Well, they might not be ahead, so they might not. I guess we can wait and see if they win Crimson Cosmos. They win Crimson Cosmos, snaps not necessarily great. Wait, that's it? Five. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, which ties here, but I don't think we're winning here. Purely a question of if they have enough to win here. Stay for one more. They even top deck Blob. And I have no, they even top decked the Blob. That is 100%. I can't possibly fathom why you would play this here and not here, but I'll take the extra cube. All right, we have 5 shots to take their last 2 cubes here. And also 1 minute they didn't mess up the Titania. Yes, that's true. How does Titania work in this deck? The number one thing to understand about Titania as a card is Titania is a last turn play unless you are playing her out somewhere where she will deterministically have a decided side. So sometimes you'll see us play her before the last turn if I'm like attempting to lock an opponent's last spot in their lane. But in general, she is part of your flurry at the end of the game. I think I'm beasting this turn, yeah? I think I'll also turn this into a random location. Could be bad for their lockjaw. CC Man, thank you for the baker's dozen. Appreciate the 13 months. Rossman, thank you for the 5 months. Thanks for dropping off that prime here still. Appreciate you taking a couple of bucks from Jeffrey Bezos and sending them my way. Cool, cool. They are a Shang-Chi deck. That's not surprising. They're running Darkhawk. Should we change the minds? No, I think I want to bounce my stuff. They're also just like not super likely to have Darkhawk, right? Is like the TLDR. Here. I guess supposed to wait on the Nico. They're all in, so. We'll stay. They weren't all in, we'd be leaving here, obviously. We see the black spots with the new spotlight variant. Yeah, maybe when we're done with the deck. Remind me. It looks fine. I compared them both and I prefer with this one. I had no lines that won this, yeah. Worth noting that Shadow King and Cannonball are randomly generated cards here. They're playing a lot of tech cards, but... not those two, it looks like. Yeah, I think I'll happily take a 2x Nico with Falcon. With Falcon teed up already, I think playing her out here is lovely. Yes, the only card we know for certain in their deck that's not filled in here yet is, we know they have Falcon. Or sorry, Falcon I'm looking about. We know they have Shang-Chi, sorry. I think this is the second or third round. Oh, my body is ready to lose to an Arishem Luke Cage here. Oh, that's true. We know Arishem's in their next. I can call out. I think with Swan should hit Monkey in hand, I'm just punting Bishop this game. Try and win without him. I think if they don't add Arishem's border effects to the cards he's generated, it'll be one of their singular biggest misses they've ever had. So I really hope they do that. If I beast like this, it cuts me off a draw. Which means the Dark Hawk stays bigger, which I probably don't want. Taking priority here makes Titania a bit worse, though. It's probably fine to leave the Dark Hawk X7. A beast mid? Yeah, maybe that is better, actually. It means my Titania's better. Just can't compete here. This gives me 4, 5, 6 more over here, up to 13. Yeah, I could lose to a Taskmaster or a Mystique here for sure, but I don't have it out to play around that, so. I can look at stuff for Blob. Oh, Blob doesn't tell me whether or not it's Arishem cards or not, huh? Tuba is probably an Arishem card. White Widow might not be. We're beating the Magneto. Do I beat the Squirrel too? I don't know that we do because they rolled Patriot. Oh my god, we do. Good shit. Coolio.
Victory.
Good stuff. That was round 2. Someone was asking. Have some adverts. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. We're gonna continue this ticket when we return. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Are you already hating on Arishem? No, people are hating on people playing Arishem decks that are just full of anti-meta stuff like Darkhawk and Leech. I think the people playing Darkhawk with no support trying to take advantage of people playing Arishem decks are very silly, and it feels good to get to poo-poo on them with my my deck that's just 12 cards. I think Arishem's popularity is 100% related to it being a nifty, cool card and not because it's overly busted. We'll see how that plays out in a few weeks, but Appreciate you streaming today for those of us that don't have plans. Yeah, I plan to do a normal full stream today. I do plan to be off tomorrow, though. Oh, yeah, I have a stream title command. But I haven't verbally called it. If you live in the UK, go vote today. July 4th, if you're watching this live.
I am Groot.
Unlucky. Oh, they played center. Miss Marvel makes sense. This is another Arishem opponent for those wondering at home. A little bit of an expansion diff, relatively even though. They're probably playing a Destruct Tower, meaning this raccoon is missing, but... I guess I could just squanch this turn? Could, like, do this, and then next turn I could play a bunch over here and then have a big monkey turn on the last turn. My line. Loki'd 4 cards, which is not super scary. Oh, and the expansion turned off their Marvel on the left. Do I snap them here? I think I'm gonna snap them here.
Oh, snap.
Not Beast plus Swan. I'd rather get my Rocket Raccoon triggered again, I think. Though. Oh my god!
All systems go.
They top decked Blob in a 16 fucking card deck after they played Loki. Doesn't matter what the supporting cast for Loki is. Literally only always wins the game because it top decks an actual good card after they play Loki. Gendy, thank you for the 65 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My monkey is 10. Is this for the game? This is 16 here. Puts us to 13. This is 10, 15, plus number 4. There's a chance this wins the game. Yep. Lokiing 3 cards really just does not seem impressive to me, chat.
Victory.
Like, people keep talking about this like it's the best. Like, it feels like all the other Loki discussions I've ever had, only worse. Like, all of these Loki decks just, like, are Lokiing for, like, they're looking for, like, 2 to 4 cards at most. You just can't consistently draw your card generators because your deck is 24 cards. Not Beastier. Cool.
Opponent snapped.
I kinda wanted to snap them, so I'm just gonna stay, just in case they have something random that hoses us, but I feel like we're in a pretty okay spot here. Oh, they're just snapping on turn 2 Fastos. Sure. Not sure I actually care about that.
This land can
All right, now that's funny right there. Can I snap him back? I want to snap him back, yeah?
Snap.
I am drawing from their what's it called deck, but they're gonna draw a bunch of our synergy pieces that are just bad for them. Like, no. Yes, I agree, homeboy. I think a lot of the people focusing on Loki in the opponent's archetype are too hyper focused on their mirror matches. It's 100% the case. Darn it. I think they're least likely to Alliance me here. Famous last words. Oh no! Don't! How will I ever beat 18 points? Thanks for the Darkhawk, bud. Appreciate it.
Victory.
Quality tech card. Squanch boosters! I need squanch boosters, chat. Oh, speaking of, I forgot to check the free booster shop this morning. We logged in. Let's do that real quick before I forget again. Annie, are you okay? I'm actually genuinely excited to play a bunch of non-Arishem deck against Arishem today, because I don't currently have a good baseline for how powerful Arishem feels, because we've mostly played mirror matches with it. And so far it does not seem busted. So far it's just like, yep, it seems like a reasonable thing you could be doing. We're still very competitive here. I've been beating a lot of the Arishem decks with the Fastos Clutter. Yeah, that's on my list of things to play today. No joke, I went through my deck highlights from the last month and a half, and I imported 20 decks last night. So we're gonna play a bunch of different things. Every match I've won with Arishem versus 12-card deck so far has felt like I outplayed my opponent, not because my deck was cracked. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Ooh, a fellow 12-card deck enjoyer. Don't mind if it does. Get my opponent and I playing Marvel Snap from 2023. Where do we think they're going to play this turn? Are they playing Wakandan Embassy or Monster Metropolis? That's just a coin flip, yeah. Because wherever I commit this to, I'm beasting that path next turn, so I need to guess this turn, basically. No play, got it. What do you think is the stronger aspect of Arishem, max energy or the variety of cards? I mean, the max energy, not close. It's not even a question. D Philly, thank you for the 98-month resubscription. It's a long time. Welcome back. You want to play this turn? Part of me wants to wait on a turn to beast. Can draw like a hood. And ideally we draw Falcon next turn. I should probably be snapping them, yeah. My hand's good enough. Confirmed telegaming. Can I actually snap them now? They've done nothing for 4 turns, and I'm not sure I can actually snap them. Am I playing Nico out on demon mode? Probably. Probably. It makes this cost 3 as well, which means I can play Bishop or Hitmonkey next turn alongside it.
Oh, snap.
Fine, we'll press the button. Playing out on demon mode means that Hood's not a dead draw either, which is nice. There is no relevant Arishem data and won't be for weeks, chat. There's too many beer matches to have any type of relevant data at the moment. Perfect. Actually just the nuts. I need to play Titania here because, you have one spot.
Minions to me.
Cool.
Victory.
Sage seems like a good addition to this deck. What do you think? I don't think Sage is better than any of the payoffs I'm already playing, which is why I'm not playing her. I think she's a fine substitution for Sasquatch if you skipped Sasquatch, because Sasquatch isn't a very good card in general. But I do think Sasquatch is better than Sage in this shell generally. This is Peak is worse for your deck than Mind Snap. I'm gonna try and take a free cube. Obviously this Peak wasn't good for us either, but generically it's much worse for them, so take a freebie. Sometimes we get caught with our hand in the cookie jar there if they have like Jubilee in hand and not too much else, but I think in general it's a good step from us. Why Infinite Conquest this season? I played Infinite Conquest last season. I took May off of Infinite Conquest because I wasn't having fun with it, but it's okay to take breaks and come back to things, chat. Like I always say, if you're not having fun with something, take a break and come back later, and that's what I did. I wasn't having fun with Infinite Conquest, so I took May off, and then I had fun in June. What season of Snap is my most favorite? The current Marvel Snap metagame before Arishem came out is the best Marvel Snap's ever been, and Arishem seems like it's likely not to change that too much. Having fun is overrated, that's why I play Galactus. Oh well. I haven't done a whole lot of anything, I'm gonna snap them here. If we draw Beast or Black Swan next turn, will be in a really good spot. This type of deck is my happy place. Mine too. This is, when I was on vacation a week ago or 2 weeks ago, this is the deck I did most of my off-stream missions with. It's a style of deck that's just, like, incredibly satisfying to get right. I think I'm doing this because I'm not going to have room to play these next turn, yeah? I did just play the blade there. Talking about balancing a card that is an unprecedented play rate currently is just nonsense. Completely agree. I want to make sure Ideally, I'm beating Hella in every path. Although I can't do that, right? Because I can't beat Hella here. They're just leaving. Cool. They've only discarded Magneto here, so we're definitely staying. I actually think the card releases next month actually seem kind of medium for the first time in a while. If you haven't seen my leaked card review, consider checking it out here.
Opponent snap.
They're snapping me. On the Beastra, I think I'm staying. Almost rocketed into the center too. Rip. Lady Sif. Black Knight Infinite, it's like a worst case scenario for us here for sure. So what's my out to win this game? My out to win this game is Black Swan, draw a Hit Monkey next turn, and then we play a big Hit Monkey, beast it back, and then replay it on the following turn. I think is my only out to win here. Nico already rolled location change. Ah, damn. The crazy part is I think we actually could have kept up with this if we would have hit the Hit Monkey on 5 like we played 2. It's fine. 2 cubes to 3.
Escape.
Pixie or Sage? Do you want to play Pixie decks? Like, that's the question. Sage is a card that's replaceable in the decks that she's in. She's a good card, but she's not the cornerstone. Like, Pixie decks aren't playable without Pixie. She's an archetype-defining card. So if you want to play Pixie decks, you should probably pick up Pixie. But if you're not interested in playing Pixie decks, then... What day do we usually get the new season video? Day before, usually. Or something. The starting the Friday before at the earliest, sometimes later.
Oh, snap.
Snap on the Falcon draw.
Opponent snap.
Yeah, bud. Death is free. Great for them. I'm gonna have the white hot room. They're already in for 2. Let's play the game.
Minions to me.
We are the future.
This seems really good for us, yeah? I have 3 extra energy for the last 2 turns, and they do not. Ideally, we draw Squanch next turn. We didn't draw Squanch, but I rolled 2x on the Nico. I'm playing 7 cards out, which means I'm going to a passive 24 here in the middle. I'm playing 6 other cards in addition to this, which means this is going to 22. So this is winning here. And we do this. Okay, cool.
Victory.
All right, gamers, we need to run some ads, and then when we get back, we're going to take a crack at our first chance at a new Infinite Border today. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. I've been slowly favoriting ones that I like as I've gotten them. I think it's this one. Hang it with Beaster Kitty. We're on to the restroom real quick. Beer, beer. Get out of the regular chair so we can get good and focused up. Are you 1200 gold variant complete? Could you get complete using Spotlight Key? So when you're 700 gold variant complete, these aren't guaranteed to give you 1200 gold variants. You start getting random avatars in the place of 700 gold variants. So I can't just rip a bunch of spotlight keys and get a bunch of 1200 gold variants. Hey, Kinapoyo, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. The last round of Infinite Conquest, you are guaranteed to queue into someone else who is also in their last round of Infinite Conquest. So depending on when in the cycle you're playing, this queue could take a minute because they want to match people who are playing for similar rewards. Have you played Bounce Wolf recently? I have not. The other rounds of Conquest try to pair you into someone with the same number of wins, but they drop that requirement relatively quickly as they try to get you an opponent fast. This last round is the only one that's guaranteed. So something to understand about meta roundups like my best decks videos and other best decks videos you're going to see online is that most meta decks are using lots of newer cards because invested players want to play with newer cards. There are lots of decks like Shuri and Hela and Discard Collector and Destroy that are all still very competitive that just don't see high play rates because those of us that haven't taken breaks from Marvel Snap have played those decks to death. 12-card deck enjoyer here. Speaking of Destroy, this matchup is difficult for our deck, and losing our beast makes it harder. They did lose Null, which is a big deal. It's not really a big deal in this matchup. That's not the card we care about. That's the card we care about. Losing Killmonger is a big deal. Are we snappable on the lose Killmonger? I kind of need to draw Falcon. If I draw Falcon next turn, we'll definitely snap. I want to see what their Black Vortex does. If they dip us on the Vortex, it could be a big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty good Vortex. He said I was gonna snap, but Red Hulk is such a big diff. If I draw Bishop, their Red Hulk doesn't grow, which would be a huge deal. It's your Rocket Raccoon. $10 16, 22. I go to 13 everywhere. Yeah, I just have to leave.
escaped.
A few things went okay for us there, but Living Tribunal versus Red Hulk is just not tenable. Our deck, generally speaking, wants to be able to play hard for 2 lanes, and we were completely unable to do that. The number one thing to think about in this matchup from the bounce player side is managing priority and attempting to duck Killmonger whenever possible using our bounce cards. Ideally, we don't have priority going into the last turn so that we were not at risk of getting Killmongered. We also, generally speaking, want to be leaving in the games where they get a really big Deadpool going early, because those are their biggest number draws that we'll have a hard time going over. Kind of anticlimactic the final game isn't against Arishem. I mean, I think we beat 2 Arishem decks on the way here, yeah? I don't know, I'm enjoying the variety. It's a very deliberate Marvel stat player. Deadpool on what is good for us, because it means they're not going to be able to scale him up before they blow him up for the first time. There's no Forge or anything coming on. Superflow's interesting. Falcon's a decent pickup. We're gonna draw Rocket Raccoon here. This is not good for us. Could be bad for them too, though, so. Arishem is the most popular deck everywhere right now, yes.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
Alright, now I have to draw Beast. Them losing Venom's not terrible for us. Could be snappable. Still have a lot going on. What if I do this? This lets me go Bishop, Sasquatch, all my ones next turn. The problem is I could have priority. And then Killmonger's scary. I'm gonna snap them.
Oh, snap.
Gold Squatch one. I'm almost to my 3rd Squatch split, so we're still a little ways off on that, unfortunately.
Victory.
Pretty happy with that retreat. I think we're ahead, but I don't think the game's unlosable. So I'm pretty happy just like snag one here. Just go slow and steady. I think this location generically is worse for them than us. Turn 5 is a pretty important turn for Destroy. this location isn't amazing for them. They have Bucky Barnes. The fact that they're playing Bucky Barnes actually makes this pretty solid for them. Bucky into here is scary. Need Bishop. Might not be enough. Want Wolverine to end center here. Perfect. We're just punting that.
What a game!
So they've destroyed 3 things, so death is 5, but 6 this turn because of Dream Dimension. And they've only blown up 4 power worth of things, so null isn't that big. And they're gonna have priority going into this last turn because they're at 18 and I'm only going to 11.
Snap.
I think I snap here. So the biggest I'm expecting is death plus 2 power Deadpool. So I only need to beat plus 14 here, which is 19. This is 1, 2, 3. I probably want to beast first, yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 12, 14... 19, bigger than 19. Right? Oh, I don't want to Nico something into the center. So Nico's going last. Right, this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 14, 19, 21. Hey, look at that. Death plus 2 power 1 drop. Counting is busted, chat, by the way. If you're someone who's struggling to ladder up in Marvel Snap and you're hard stuck in a rank, this is what you need to be able to do better. You need to be able to look at your opponent's deck and count everything that has happened and know this is deterministically how much power they're going to have. And can I beat it or can I not? And that determines. You always hear people, myself included, say you need to snap and retreat better to ladder up in Marvel Snap. But this is what that means. Being able to look at your opponent's stuff and their cards and go, this is their output range. How likely am I to beat that? Can I guarantee to beat it? Am I a percentage play to beat it? That's what snapping and retreating appropriately entails. Fully NARS! With the not 1, not 2, not 10, but 50 gifted subs. Holy crap. That is, happy 4th of July to you. All right, I want to double check too, because I'd feel bad if this wasn't the case. Those are intentionally gifted subs, right? That is another 100 gifted subs. That is absurdly generous. Thank you for the absurd support. Keep up the good work, 100% intentional. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This is my full-time gig, and folks like you make that possible. Thanks for keeping me around.
Enough said, bub.
Yeah, so it was 50 and 50 again, 100 gifted subs. We're looking for a beast, gamers. We're looking for a beast so we can be a beast like Foley Nars. Okay, so the game plan here is we do this, and then we will Kitty plus Hitmonkey on 4, and then we'll Black Swan plus Beast on 5. And Mirror Dimension might actually be giving us extra energy to go extra insane. So, obviously, super absurdly generous pile of subs. But I do have some bad news for some people in chat right now. Marvel Snap, as we often say, is a high variance game, which means being lucky is helpful. And if you are someone who missed on the 100 gifted subs there, I do think you unfortunately need to consider if you are lucky enough to play Marvel Snap. Because it doesn't bode well for your variance if you missed on 100 gifted subs. You should consider, is this truly a game you are lucky enough to get? Is another 50 gifted. Nars is trying to make sure you all are as lucky as you could possibly be. That is happy Thursday. I am sorry, I'm distracted. This is Infinite Conquest. I gotta play here for a second. Sorry. We are doing this. I'm maintaining not having priority. I'm setting up Black Swan plus Beast on the last turn. Yes, final answer. Nars. That is 200 gifted subscriptions. That is a lot. A couple, 2, 3. Thank you for your absurd support. I almost got distracted and did Black Swan. Sorry, I'm very distracted in the best possible way. We're doing this. Yes, this is the answer. I think this is the answer. Okay. Yes. Final answer. Final answer. Well, I'm not sure why you woke up this morning, Nars, and decided that you were gonna give one of the most absurd piles of support I have seen in a long while. I'm losing count. It says 50, 100, 150. I think it said by your name. It's like 300. I need to count. And then we will talk about Nars. This. Play for all 3. I could lose to an Arnim Zola. Can I play around Arnim Zola here, I think is the question I have to ask. Yeah, I think I actually don't play for all 3 because I need to play around Arnim Zola. This plays around Arnim Zola. Right. Final answer. We beat that? I think we beat that. Yeah, cool. All right, Nars! What is going on? It's my birthday, and I figure I'm buying myself a couple of Rolexes today as a present to myself It's the least I can do. Well, happy birthday. And thank you for treating me in addition to treating yourself. Holy crap. Happy birthday. All right, I've got to win 2 more cubes here so we can unlock the infinite border on our beast. Okay, we have five shots to win the last 2. We're gonna stand. I feel like I gotta stand up and focus. I'm a little shook. We're both in the last game, and it's Nars's birthday, and they've been absurd. Thank you for the prime sub, Revel. Appreciate it. All right. Again, when you don't want to play Kitty into the first location, always play her into the third location. I think the plural of Rolex is Rolexed. I don't know. It's a good question. What is the plural of Rolex? Let me know if you're down for a friendly or chat draft battle at some point. 100%. I would love to set that up. Are you in the Discord, Dars? You should pick me on Discord. If you want to coordinate it today, we can coordinate it right after this, but I'm happy to do it on a future day too that works for you. You let me know. I'm gonna be live for a bit today. This is my first run. Actually, I want to do this in the other order, so I'm more likely to have, because Kitty counts towards Castle Blackstone, but doesn't count towards priority, which is convenient. Oh my god, and they just killmongered proactively, which is insane for us. We played against Mobius and Loki. Yeah, we beat both those cards during the set. So, opponent spewed their Killmonger, but I actually don't have, I don't have any of our payoff cards here at the moment. Which is awkward. You want to double up Raccoon? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm inclined to double Kitty more than anything. I think I'm doing this, and then we're just vibing going into next turn. Oh, I'm gonna brick a draw. Oh, I'm so distracted. Oh, I'm so distracted. Their hand is poop, though, so maybe being distracted is fine. Yikes. Okay. Breaking a draw there was really bad. We have 1 Castle Blackstone, but managed to not have priority. We need a Hitmonkey, a Bishop, or a Sasquatch here. Angela, yikes. This is our best possible. Should I try and beat Zola? That's a good point. Can I beat 20 on the left? I don't know that I can. Yeah, I can't beat 20 on the left. I have to beat 19. This is 18, 23. This only ties and then I lose the breaker. I can't beat Zola. I'm gonna play like Zola doesn't exist because I can't beat it. I think we beat that, yeah? Cool, I think we're cool. Joe Jam! Thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Alright. Alright! What a run! Alright, I'm gonna take a screenshot and post this on Twitter. We're gonna run some ads while we do that, and Foley Nars. Do you wanna DM me on Twitch? Let's set it up. Or we just talk in chat too. Let me know what you wanna do. If you don't tweet your Infinite Conquest win, did it really happen yet?